Hi everyone, I'm Suzanne. Thank you for joining me. In today's video, I'm going to share with you our latest homeschool update. So I've been watching everybody's year-end reviews, which I absolutely love. However, I cannot even think about year-end review. And the reason is we still have 2 months left of school. So that is a total of 8 weeks, and I have many things planned. We have some things we need to finish in that 8 weeks. So my mind has been totally focused on what we're going to do to finish out this year, as well as doing my final research for our curriculum picks for next year. So I'm going to give you an update on what we plan on doing for the last 8 weeks of school. I seem to follow many homeschoolers that are year-round homeschoolers. However, we are not. We live in a part of the country that definitely has distinct seasons. So we take full advantage of the summer season. This year, our school season goes to the end of June, and we are going to have our year-end celebration on July 1st. And then we are taking off totally the summer months. And we have big summer plans this year. The week following the end of the school term, Vivian is away at a artist camp. It's our first sleepover camp for 5 days. That'll be a lot of fun. And then when I pick her up from there, we are joining her father who's away working. So we will be spending the summer in a cottage and on the beach. And I'm really hoping to take off the entire summer for the first time and just be with Vivian and have a lot of outdoor adventures. And we will return to school mid-September, and that's our school term. All right, what have we been up to since our last update, which has only been a month? It seems like a lot longer though, because we did manage to get a whole lot of things finished. We did our Beatrix Potter study, and we did a little bit of a dinosaur study. It was kind of like a mini study, not near as much as the amount of books that I had out from the library, but that was kind of like an add-on interest-led study, so I'm okay with that. I decided I'm just going to note those books, and maybe next year I'll pick up one that we can do per month or something, instead of trying to have even a little mini focus. It was too much given our full schedule. And if you saw our update last month, it was chock full of resources. In particular, it was chock full of Shakespeare resources for kids. And I said we were going to finish the 12th night. And since that video, I decided not to, because that study was going further along in our schedule than I had intended. And it was going to be quite involved to do 12th night. So I'm going to start that up again next year. What we are going to continue to do is work on our How to Teach Your Children Shakespeare by Ken Ludwig. I would like to finish part 1 by the end of this school year, except for the part that's about the 12th night. So we'll, like I said, pick that up again next year. But I will be really happy with that, and we'll continue on with this book next year. So I feel good about that. Now, in terms of language arts, I did mention a couple things, and if you saw one of my reading videos, I had a distinct plan for our language arts until the end of the year, and we're continuing on that path, and it's really working well, except for one thing. We were doing this reading pathways, and this is going good. So we're just at the tail end of this book, and Vivian's reading has really skyrocketed. What I did take off of that plan was all about spelling. So we're going to do all about spelling next year, but if you're familiar with that program, they do suggest, no matter where your child is at in their spelling and reading, that you start at the very first book. Well, it was very repetitive. It was a bit tedious. I'm just going to put it out there. It was a bit tedious because it was already familiar for us, which is fine, except that we started this book and the beginning was the same in terms of it too was tedious and repetitive. So between the two of those, oh my goodness, we were not having a good time. My daughter was getting irritated and frustrated, and I was not enjoying myself either. So what I decided to do was take all about spelling off the table and focus on getting through the tediousness of this book. And now we're into the part that she really needs to learn in terms of sounding out words and, breaking down multi-syllable words. So that was a good decision on my part. It's nice when you have those good decisions. Okay, I just want to give you an example of where my daughter's reading is at right now. And I am going to do another video that has to do with the books we're reading for the rest of the school year, and that what we're doing to increase her fluency and that sort of thing. So This she reads no problem. This is Heidi Heckelback. Yes, definitely no problem. This one is a bit more challenging for her, but she really likes it, so she's continuing on. So these are books she's reading all on her own. And I have a whole stack of these, which she's really enjoying. And these are The Adventures of the Bailey School Kids. And she really likes them. I think there's one character in here that's not a very nice person. She's not overly fond of him, but she loves the series as a whole, so she keeps going regardless. And we are also share reading A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett. And I picked this up when we went thrifting. I still haven't shared that haul, but this was one of the books that we picked up. Vivian read me the whole first chapter of this book, and I only had to help her with a few words. So we've been kind of going back and forth through this book, and I'm so excited. And I feel like some of the fears we had for reading were for nothing. And everyone said that, of course, but you know, there's always that niggling doubt in the back of your mind, but she's doing fantastic. And math, we're continuing on with Matthew C. That is going well. And to continue on with reading, I just wanted to mention a couple of books we absolutely love that we did as a read aloud. These are chapter books, and these are the Calpurnia Tate Girl Vet. This is the first book in the series. This is by Jacqueline Kelly, and this is Skunked. And I read this book to Vivian, and we read it in 2 sittings, and I laughed so much. So did Vivian. This is really good. So we have the entire rest of the series. There's only like 5 or 6 of them coming from our library. They're on hold to be picked up, I think, this week. Absolutely love this book. Totally recommend it. And our middle grade book that we read, and our fantasy book, was Pages and Co., The Book Wanderers, and this is by Anna James. And we absolutely loved it. This is now one of our favorites. It's in the top 5. In this book, we meet Tilly, who is living with her grandparents who own a bookshop, and her mom has totally disappeared when she was a baby. Nobody knows where she went, and I guess her father died when she was quite young as well. That's what she told at the beginning of the book. And she starts to see characters in the bookshop from books, her favorite books. For example, Alice from Alice in Wonderland and Anne of Anne of Green Gables. And then she discovers that she can wander into books, and she has a friend of hers that lives across the way. He ends up going into books with her as well. And it's really cool. There's a whole community of book wanderers. And this was delightful, whimsical. Absolutely, if you're a book lover, this was so much fun. We have the second one on our shelves, and we just had the third one come in that you'll see in my upcoming book haul from Book Outlet. And I know this is a series that we will definitely be continuing. Next, our morning basket. I just wanted to mention a couple books that we're adding in. If you saw my last book haul, you would have seen this. This is Latinas Celebrating 40 Dreamers. And this is about 40 influential Latinas women. And we'll continue that to the end of the year. We always try to include a book that tells stories about empowered women or girls. And this is the one that we're doing right now because we are doing our Latin American study for the rest of the year. We are almost finished Thornton W. Burgess's Bird book. We should probably be finished that actually by the end of this week. And we are going to jump into the big book of animal stories. And this is by Thornton W. Burgess. And I absolutely love these books so much I can't even tell you. And we are pairing this with the Learning North American Animals with Thornton Burgess. And this is one of the simple studies, which is based on Charlotte Mason. It's like a Charlotte Mason inspired study. And this is by Krista Wiley. And I will leave links to all of the studies I'm going to show you in this video. There's quite a few links you're going to get because I'm using quite a few independent studies like this for the remainder of our school year. And I absolutely love these. So we use this for the bird study as well. Show you a little bit inside these studies. I highly recommend them. So she breaks it down per week. So 1 lesson a week. So 1 chapter a week. It matches like a chapter a week. And she gives you a huge list of books. So for example, this is your picture book lesson. And she gives you other books that she suggests that you could use for reference books as well. Okay, so back to the suggested schedule for the year. There are 24 lessons. Now, like I said, we only have 8 weeks left of our school term. So we will start this and we will pick this up again in September. And if you're wondering why we're not going to just continue this on in the summer because it's light and easy, it's because we are doing another one of her studies and another one of Thornton Burgess's book for the seashore. And because we're spending the summer like 5 minutes away from a beach, I thought that was perfect for the summer. So like I said, we'll come back to this. Now, this is the first lesson, and she lists the materials needed and then gives you suggestions for exactly what pages that you can read out of what books. For example, the Handbook of Nature Study you could use if you wanted to. Then she lists the picture books that she's matched up with the lesson. She also suggested this coloring book for this one. And this is the Small Animals of North America coloring book. Now, a lot of times her studies, she has coloring pages at the back. For this particular one, instead of doing that, she suggested that you buy this. So if you have small kids, they can color out of here. If you have older kids, she suggests looking up in a field guide and having them draw and label the particular animal for that chapter, which is kind of neat. So it spreads over the years, and I'll be curious to see what we end up doing with this next year, because I've mentioned in previous videos, Vivian isn't always excited to color anymore, which she's going to be 9, so that makes sense. And I would like to get in more drawing, like the older students that she mentions there. I don't know how much I can make that happen this school term, like for the next 8 weeks, because as you'll see, we have a lot going on, and I really don't want to add any more to my pile or to our pile because it's just unreasonable. Now, I did want to mention my new favorite find. I'm really obsessed with this company. It's called Hearth Magic, and she does she does many things, but she does book family guides, and I'm in love with them. She just had a huge Mother's Day sale, and I bought every one that was on my wish list. The sale was amazing, and I've printed them off. And if you're interested, I was thinking about maybe doing a video on the book guides that I have from Hearth Magic, as well as some other book guides that I've picked up along the way. So if you're interested in seeing a more in-depth look at that, definitely let me know. But I am trying to decide, and I didn't have a time to go through these. Like I said, I just picked them up for the Mother's Day weekend. So I literally am filming this like I just printed these off yesterday. So what I have is The Secret Garden and Anne of Green Gables. I'm trying to decide which one we're going to start and work on for the next 8 weeks. And it'll be between the two of those. So I guess tune into the next update to see which one I chose. Okay, this is The Secret Garden. Just to give you a quick, look how, oh my gosh, her artwork is amazing. They're so beautiful. And that's The Secret Garden. And I've added something to the end of that I'll show you in a minute. And this is Anne of Green Gables. And I actually bound this in 2 separate pieces, part A and part B. So this is really involved. And I did consider taking this for the summer, like starting Anne of Green Gables now and then taking it into the summer. And I may do that. I really have to go through that and see, because there's a lot of activities in here that I would love to do with Vivian, but I'm not going to take a huge number of supplies with us for the summer. So we'll just see what they involve. And maybe we'll do part of it and part of it next summer. I'm not sure. So again, this is Hearth Magic, and I'll definitely leave her link below. Now I have something for Norse mythology for next year from her as well. She has a study. It's so great. One of the things that I added into the back of The Secret Garden, because I did notice, if you remember the story of The Secret Garden, at the beginning, the little girl comes from India, and really it ties into the little princess because she also came from India, and same author, so no coincidence there. Definitely the time period in history. Anyway, what I did when I noticed that she had put a bit on India in there, my goodness, it's taking me forever to get this out today. I added in a little study at the back, and this is from Little World Wanderers. And I have to tell you, I have quite a few things that I'm going to share in this video from Little Wanderers. This is absolutely free. which is amazing. I did purchase something from her site, but this study is free. And I wanted to make sure I showed you this. So you can go on her site and grab this. And she has a bunch of them. You'll see I've used about, I can't open that for some reason. Okay. I really need to figure out a better way to do this in my updates. All right, you'll see more of Little Wanderers when I get into our Latin America study, and definitely check out our site. All right, two of the studies that we're doing for the remainder of the school year, Latin American study, and we are, for science, finishing out the year with the human body study. Now, my daughter has been asking to do the human body for quite a while now. I said we would do it this school year, so we're definitely doing it for the last 8 weeks. Okay, I'm going to start off with the Latin American study. Again, all the links I'm going to mention will be down below. I did create a little study guide for us, so I just bound everything in here, and this is just a map I laminated from the internet. Now, this is the first resource I wanted to mention, and I discovered this thanks to Nikki's homeschool channel, which is the Homeschoolology. And she did a geography video that she mentioned this resource. And this is called, I'm looking because my memory, This is called Countries of the World, Maps, Facts, and Flags. And this is from Teachers Pay Teachers. And I absolutely love this. I'll hold up this one because it's easier. And it's for all the continents. And it has like the map, so for every country on that continent, and then it has information about every country. And it has colored versions, and then it also has the same pieces of information that your kids can color in. So I just wanted to show you that this particular unit, it does include all the continents. Now, obviously for us, I included North America, and so that we would have Central America in here for our study, and also, of course. Yeah, absolutely love this. I think it's just such a great resource to have everything in one place. And I haven't decided how I'm going to use these or the layout I'm going to do yet, but it's all in the same package. And the next tab we have from Little World Wanderers. She had a Guatemala unit study there for free. So I printed that off. Look at her artwork, gorgeous. All this stuff is always so pretty, right? And then she has the flags as well. So what I've done is, because we are going to use Living Legends Latin America, I've shown this a few times this year. Well, we're finally starting it this week, which I'm very excited about. And this is going to be really the spine for our study. Now, this study has 18 weeks worth of lessons. And like I said, we have 8 weeks left. I'm not sure how this is going to go. We're going to do this 2 days a week. So we're rotating for 2 days a week. We're doing our Latin American study. And 2 days a week, we're going to do the science human body study. So that would give us, well, 8 weeks times 2 is 16. But I don't know how involved that's going to be. So stay tuned. I should know more what's going to be possible by our final update that I will do, because I've referenced so many things. I am going to do another update in June. That will be for the remainder of the year. Then I'll do a whole year-end review. But so that's going to be our spine. And I decided what we were going to focus on more in depth as we went through by 2 things. One, what are the kiwi crates that we have? And we have 2 now that I've been saving. So we have Brazil and we have Guatemala. So we are going to start off with Guatemala. And we're also going to do Brazil with the kiwi crates. And I know that Argentina is coming in the mail. I received notice. So we'll do those 3 kiwi crates. We're going to focus on those. as well as 2 more in here. So like I said, from the Little Wanderers, here's a little Guatemala study, and I'll pair that with the Kiwi crate. She also had on her site Puerto Rico, so we'll do some Puerto Rico. And Colombia. Now, I should mention for the Puerto Rico, we haven't done anything about the Caribbean yet, so it would be nice to do a little bit more about that. But we'll see how it goes. We might just keep it simple to the end of the school year, and then I know we're coming back to a lot of these countries in the future. We'll see how it goes. Then, of course, like I mentioned, Brazil, because we have this little study, again, from Little Wanderers, and we'll pair that with the Kiwi crate, so that'll be fun. And before I tell you what's under the last tab, I also want to say we'll do Peru as well. Now, I know Little Wanderers had a Peru study on her site. I think I downloaded it, but decided not to use it because we did a fair amount about Machu Picchu and Peru already this year. And I have this beautiful study, and this is about South America and in particular Peru. And I absolutely love the material that was in this. Now, if you want to see this more in depth, it was included in the video I did. I will link it above. It was, are the Instagram bundles worth it? And this was in a bundle that I received or bought. I didn't receive, I bought it. And it's gorgeous. So in that bundle, there was this one about Peru. Machu Picchu. Yeah, absolutely. It's gorgeous. People are so creative. Oh my goodness. All these other homeschool moms. Hot chocolate. Anyway, there's activities there. That's absolutely stunning. So I'm definitely going to do that, but I didn't want to add anything else to the Peru study. And I'm pretty sure we already did like a Kiwi crate this year from Peru. Now, the final thing that I decided, look at me clapping because I was so excited when I was on Little Wanderer's site, and I had looked at this before, and I was, I just really wanted to support her channel. She gave so many free things, and then I saw this again. I'm like, okay, that's perfect. A little bit of support, and I'm really excited to have this as well. And, you know, you can definitely buy her a coffee for all her free items as well on her site. But this is called Fairy Lore of the World. Now, this is a student book that I've put in here. And this gives you fairies from different points of the world. I know I saw a really great map in here. So I don't know, remember it was in the student book or the teacher's book. Okay, it must be in the teacher's guide. Okay, this is what I included at the back of the student manual that I created. And this is, so a multicultural STEM unit by Little World Wanderers. And so she lists what you're going to need. I just thought this was a fun addition. Now, we will focus in this book on the areas that we are doing for South America. And definitely, so amazing. Yeah, so it's fairy work and geography work. Fairy Song by Louisa May Alcott. Fairy Dance, Child and the Fairies. Some poetry, games to play. Handicrafts. I know I saw that map. All right. Well, here's an example anyway, so I don't sit here and bore us all. United Kingdom, so fairy and folklore from Northern Ireland, Scotland, and England. And we just did London and the United Kingdom when we did our Beatrix Potter study, because the particular artist study that we used included a section about London. So that was kind of cool. We pulled out all our London books and just did that over a few days. I'll speak about this more next month as well, once we had a chance to really get into it and use it. But I wanted to tell you that we're going to do it, and it's a perfect thing for spring as well. So I wanted to point it out and share it with you guys as well. The final unit study I want to mention is our human body study. And we have so many resources for human body that I've been collecting over the past 3 years, I think. I wasn't even sure what I had when I pulled it all out. What I've decided to do is to share some of the resources that we'll be using so that it gives you a place to go if you're considering doing one. I'll point you in a direction of some resources that might be of interest to you. Now, the first one is Core Knowledge. Now, Core Knowledge offers a whole set. So they have a science full year curriculum for grades kindergarten to grade 5. And they're amazing. And like I said, they're free. So you can get like a student workbook. I'm just trying to find my note here, but you can get a student workbook as well as a teacher's guide. I'm putting a link down below that shows, if you scroll down the page, it shows you what book they're going to use for kindergarten and then grade 1, grade 2, and what the topics are. For example, kindergarten, I think, is like the senses. Then when you get into grade 1, it tells you what it is and so forth. I think grade 5 was like reproduction and hormones, because I know for us, it was the one where I thought, well, we definitely wouldn't be trying to fit this in this year. I wouldn't be fitting it in 8 weeks anyways, because each year is a year-long study. So if you read the comments and questions down below, they really, stipulate each course for each grade level is a full year course. So definitely have a look at that. His core curriculum is free and the workbook is amazing. And I haven't printed any off. I've been reading some of it with Vivian just from my computer. I've been putting it up on the big screen. Anyway, that resource is there. Definitely check them out. I'll leave the link below. And the other unit study that I wanted to mention is we picked this up from the Waldorf Way. It's the Human Body Unit Study. And this is amazing. And really, you could do the whole year from this one. And I think I might keep it simple and just kind of start. This might be what we end up doing for our 8 weeks. I feel like I'm being repetitive here, but I pulled everything together for this video. I've actually been pulling it together for the past few days. But I haven't jumped into everything because I was working on a couple of other things. But this is the week, so I'll know more a week from today, but then it's too late for an update. But if you want to follow me on Instagram, I feel really determined this time to be more active on Instagram. You know, I find the stories a bit more manageable. I just take pictures and post them up there so people can get a more up-to-date of what you're doing, and I don't feel like I have to edit it and do all this stuff with the posting. For some reason, I have a real challenge with that. But I will try to update my story on a regular basis so you can see what we are doing. But again, I'll know more, like I said, in June. But if this interests you, definitely check it out. I also am going to link below. Jessica from the Waldorf Way did a look inside of this study, and that will probably answer any questions you might have because she flips through the entire thing. All right, I'll just show you a few little pieces of resources that we're going to be using that are fun. Okay, so we have the Magic School Bus. This one is for the missing bones. I ordered another Dover coloring book, and this one is my first human body book. We have a couple things like this one, and I have a one from DK that is like super. I'm just going to pull it out now in terms of coloring books. Super involved. Yeah. This is the Human Body Coloring Book, the Ultimate Anatomy Study Guide. This is really in-depth. Like, look at this. I think it's safe to say this will be one that doesn't get in this 8-week cycle. So maybe I shouldn't even have bothered to show it. Okay, I know as I'm looking at it now, I'm putting that aside. Then we have the world around us, the human body and how it works. I mean, we have so many little things. This was something I picked up at a thrift store, Extreme 3D, Your Body. Just kind of neat. So you put the glasses on and have a look at all those things. And this is something else I thrifted, the Body Book, easy to make hands-on models that teach. So, and this is all out of paper. It's kind of cool. Oh, look, see, I did thrift it. Somebody had already done a couple pieces. This is a little study for Marie Curie, scientist who made glowing discoveries. I'm sure we studied her already, but it's fun to do it within this context. Discover what's beneath your skin. Like I said, we have so many resources. After a while, they start to get repetitive, so I guess I'll look through them and then we'll decide which one we like the best. So, understanding your body, a good look inside your insides, and this is Usborne, which I love Usborne for these kind of things. And we have The Wonders of Learning. Discover the Human Body Fold-Out Reference Book. I mean, kids love, my daughter has already been in this, of course. But it's fun to pull it back out when you're studying the particular parts. Okay. And, of course, Professor Noggins, the Human Body card game. The last little item, it's like I saved the best for last because my daughter absolutely loved this. She read this. I said, I'm not ready to do that. She's read almost half of it by herself. This is a Human Body Theater by Maris Wicks. And this I saw in a video Emily Cook made. And it was about, I think it might have been about a morning basket she was doing with her daughter. I'm not sure. She spoke about reading this book with her daughter, that they were reading it for the second time, and it was one of her daughter's favorite books. And I grabbed it, and I'm so grateful that I did because my daughter has been loving it. And I think this is one that will definitely be read more than once as well. So thanks for that, Emily. And now I'm sharing with you in case you didn't see that video because this is amazing. All right, I think that's all I have to share with you. I hope there's some resources there that you can use in your homeschool. And if you'd like to see something more in depth or have any questions, definitely let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please hit like. And if you'd like to see more, definitely subscribe. And I will see you soon with another video.